I will show you how to solve puzzle 4 from Clover's Sudoku pillar. You need a 4, 2, 8, and a 5 from puzzle 3 to put in these yellow cells to get started. Click below if you want to give this puzzle a go. And with that, it's solving time. Start by looking for digit restrictions from 1 to 9. You might notice with this one, cutting across row 3, there's only 2 places for a 1 here in block 3, and they also act as a pointing pair. Since they're in the same column, a 1 can't be anywhere else outside of the block in that column. If you try to put a 1 here, here, or here, no place to put a 1 in block 3. Greetings, friend. We are working through the 5 interconnected puzzles of the Sudoku pillar. I want to thank Clover for this amazing masterpiece. This is puzzle 4. If you want to meet Clover and me, come to SudokuCon 2025 in Boston. And you can meet us along with other great Sudoku setters, solvers, and fans. You do need to solve the purple cells in this puzzle to input into the last puzzle, the Sudoku pillar. In order to solve that, we need to continue on with our restrictions. There are no other solves or blocks where the 1s are restricted to 2 cells, so let's move on to the 2s. With these 2s and this 2, 2 places for 2 in block 9. And then up here in block 1, there's only 2 places for 2 here. And so if we can solve one of these cells for other than 2, you can solve that for 2 right away. Also find pointing and claiming pairs and other types of pairs using this type of marking. Let's move on to the 3s. Okay, they have 1, 3 here in row 3, but it's in the same row as the 1. And so the 3s are restricted here just like the 1s. When you see this notation on top of each other, you have found a hidden pair. And so the 1 and 3 are the only 2 digits that can be there because they can't fit anywhere else in that block. And since you have a 2, 4, 5, and 8 already in the block, this has got to be a 6, 7, or 9. It's a naked triple. So I can put the 6, 9 there, 6 and 7 there, and the 6, 7, 9 here. And so with this 6, 7, 9, that restricts these 3 cells to a 2, 4, and an 8. And this can't be a 2. And now let's look at the 4s. You'll see with this 4 and this 4, only 2 places for 4 are right here. And so the 2 and the 4 are in the same 2 cells in block 1, so that's another hidden pair. And what that means is this cannot be an 8 anymore, right? You put an 8 here, you can only put a 2 or a 4 right there, and you wouldn't have enough places in block 1 to put the other digit. So we can safely remove that 8, and this brings up something pretty cool here. Since this is no longer an 8, the 8s in row 3 are restricted to these 2 cells, both in block 2. And so that makes them a claiming pair. And what that means is since the 8s have to be somewhere in row 3 and they're restricted to block 2, none of these cells can contain an 8 anymore. And this brings me up to the question of the day. Which is easier for you to find? Pointing pairs, like we did with the 1s, or a claiming pair like we did with the 8s? Please, please, please share in the comments with the other viewers and me and help me grow the best Sudoku community on YouTube. I want to hear from you, and I still answer every comment I get. Okay, let's move on here to the 5s. With these 2 5s, you have 2 places to put a 5 here in block 1. But if you look a little bit further, you might notice that you have a 1, 2, 4, 3, 7, 9 here. The only thing left in block 1 is a 5, 6, and an 8. And since you have a 6 and an 8 right here, this is actually a naked single 5. And then with this 8, you can solve this for an 8 and solve that for a 6. So instead of just marking the 5s, we'll just continue on and solve the rest of that block the best we can. Okay, after doing that, you look and there's no other marks we can make with the 5s at this time. Move on to the 6s, and you'll see with this 6 and the 6 right here, 2 places for a 6 in block 2. Okay, move on to the 7s because I don't see any other restrictions as the 6s. With the 7s, you have 2 places for a 7 in block 5. With this 7 and the 7 in column 5, 2 places for a 7 in block 2, and only 2 places for 7 here in block 3. And then with this 7 coming down, you might see these 7s are a pointing pair to go with this 7 and the 7 here in column 7. And so one of these spots could be a 7. So we've marked all the 7s. Let's move on to the 8s. These 2 8s and these 2 8s, you have 4 8s looking in block 9. Whenever you have 4 of a digit looking into a block, you know there's only going to be one cell remaining where that can go. So this has to be your 8 displacing that 2. And once you displace the 2, you can solve the other cell for 2 right away. Awesome. And then also with this 2 and this 2, you can solve this cell for a 2. Okay, what else can we do with the 8s? With this 8 and this 8, you might see the 8s in the same spot as those 7s. So another hidden pair that Clover put here, really nice. And then with these 2 8s, you can mark 2 8s here in block 4. Okay, moving on to the 9s. With this 9 and this 9, you'll see the 9s are in the same place as the 6s, so we got hidden pair 6 and 9. Only thing left in row 1 is a 1 3 that could go there. So this is a 1 3 naked pair, that was a 6 9 hidden pair. What else can we do with the 9s? Well, this 9 coming down here, you'll notice you now have a 7 9 hidden pair, which allows you to have a nice 1 3 5 naked pair to finish up block 7. And then with this 9 and these 2 9s, 2 9s in block 4. And that's all we can do with the 9s. And so a solving tip, since you solved a few cells, go back through the digits and see if there's any other easy solves before you look for something a little harder. Because Clover told me she did put at least one advanced strategy in each of these Sudoku pillar puzzles, but you want to go as far as you can before getting stuck before you look for those. And so in column 7 here, since you have this 1 3 here, 2 4 7 8 there, all that's left is a 5 6 and a 9. So that's 5 6 9. It's a naked triple. This can't be a 6. And since the 5 can't be here, you actually have a nice claiming pair of 5s. They have to be somewhere in block or column 7, and they're restricted in block 9. So you can't put 5 here and here anymore. And with this 5, you can actually mark 5s in block 6. Okay, with this 1 3 5 naked triple here and the 6 7 9 here, you have a 2 4 8 naked triple to finish column 3. And this can't be a 4, and this can't be a 2. And that's about it for the easy and the medium strategies. Now it's time to look for something a little bit more advanced. And so you have a choice. You can look for single candidate strategies, or you can look at the buy value cells. And I'll tell you, we have marked almost all the buy value cells. So why don't we finish doing that? In addition to everything you see here, these are BVCs. If you look in this cell, and the reason I picked this is because you have additional digits here, and you have 4 in column 2. You might notice can't be a 1 or a 2, can't be a 3, can't be a 5, 6, 8, or a 9. So this is a nice 4 7. And then if you cut across here and look at this cell, you'll notice you have 5 digits in block 6. So that makes it a heavy house when it has at least 5 cells filled in. Another good place to look for BVCs. And the BVCs, they're the foundation of advanced strategies. When you find those, you can solve so many advanced strategies with them. So what can be in this cell? Can't be a 2, 4, 7, 8, or 9. That means it can be a 1, 3, 5, or 6. Well, it can't be a 1 because of this 1. And it can't be a 5 because of that 5. So that has to be a 3, 6 BVC. And that's it for all the buy value cells. So what else could we look for? Well, if you notice this 1 3 pattern here, this actually forms what's called a unique rectangle. And it's something you could use because you know the puzzle has a unique solution, if you know that. It wasn't designed, this puzzle wasn't designed to be solved with a unique rectangle. But the premise here, in case you're not familiar, is if you put a 1 right here, that forces a 3 here, a 1 here, and if this was a 3, the 3 would have to go there. If you solve the rest of the puzzle, and put a 3 here, that would put a 1 there, 3 there, and a 1 there. It would force two different solutions to the puzzle. One where 3s are here, and another where 1s are here and 3s are there. Since the puzzle would have a unique solution, you don't want to use that. Didn't call this puzzle out for having a unique solution. And even if you put this unique rectangle in here, it doesn't really do much for the solve. You would just eliminate a 1 and a 3 from this cell. However, there's something a little bit more interesting going on. Check out this cell. This is a 4 and an 8. You want to look for matching by-value cells in different blocks. Is there any other 4 8s that you can see in this puzzle? Right there. And I'll color those. So this is a 4 8, and that's a 4 8. Now, if you can connect them using a conjugate pair of one of these values, a 4 and 8, then we will find an advanced strategy. So what you might see is the 8s. Where can the 8s be in block 5? They can be in these two cells, right? And I'll just kind of do that and put them in blue. And one of these cells sees this orange cell, and the other one sees this orange cell. And these 8, since there's only 2 of them available in block 5, they're a conjugate pair. So conjugate pair simply means that if one of these values is not an 8, the other one has to be. So either that's an 8 or that's an 8. Simple, right? So let's think about this logic. This cell right here, it could be a 4. And anything that sees it cannot be a 4. If it's not a 4, it has to be an 8, which means this can't be an 8, it'd be a 7. This would have to be an 8, and it forces a 4 right there. So either this cell in orange is a 4. If it's not a 4, because of this conjugate pair connecting them, this cell has to be a 4. And so whatever cells see both of these orange cells, you cannot contain a 4. You have found a Sudoku W wing. This is really clever stuff by Clover. And what it means is you can remove a 4 from this cell right there. And so let's remove these colors and the values here and see how much further you can get with these solves. This cannot be a 4, that has to be a 2. Look at the impact on the row, column, and block. So within the block, since that's a 2, that would be a 4. In the column, since this is a 2, that'd be an 8, and that would be a 4. And then across the row, since this is a 2, then you can remove a 2 from right there. But we're not done, because of this 4, that has to be a 7, that's a 9, and that's a 7. You want to clean up all these marks. This is like my favorite part of the solving. Clean up as many marks as possible. Because of that 9, you can remove that as a 9 and solve that for a 9. Because of this 7, this has to be your 8, that has to be your 7. And this 8 means this is a 4, and that's going to be an 8. Awesome. So you see row, column, and block. And so we got the row, we got the column, and you got the block. A lot of great solving there. And we're not done yet. So we can look right here and notice that you just need a 1 and a 2 right there, and you just need a 3 and a 5 right here. But we can do better than that. You'll notice if you look across row 6, 5 can't be here because of this 5, and it can't be here because of this 5, so that actually has to be your 5, meaning this is going to be your 3. Nice. And then we can do a little bit more solving here. Because of this 7, you can displace that 7 and solve for 7 right there. Awesome. Which leaves you with a 1, 2, and a 3 across row 2. You got a 1 and 2 right there, so that's got to be your 3, which means that's the 1, that's the 2. That's going to be a 3, and that's going to be the 1. So because of this 7, this does not violate any unique rectangle issues. Great. Now let's move on and see what other solving we can do. Could you solve the 2 right there, and you got this 2, that has to be your 2, which means this is a 1, and that's a 2. Nice. And then with this 5, coming down, column 5, that has to be your 5. Nice. Which means now you have a 1, 2, 3, 7, and an 8, 5, 7, 8 in column 4. So you just need a 4, 6, and a 9. Well, you got the 4 and a 6 right there, and a 6 repeated. Use my neat naked triple trick. This has to be your 9. The only place the 6 can go is right there, and this is going to be your 4. Nice. And with this 6, now that has to be a 9. And then you have a nice 3, 4, and a 6 here in block 5. Got the 3 and the 4 right there, so that's got to be the 6, the 4 repeated. There's your 4, there's your 3. So if you can solve clumps of cells like that, 2 or 3 at a time, just makes for a quicker solve. And now with these ones, this has to be a 1. Nice. And then this is going to be a 3, 5. You can remove the mark from right here and see what other solving you can do. With this 5, you can displace this 5, solve that cell for a 5. With this 3, that means this has to be a 6. You can remove the 6 from right here. Just kind of follow those marks as you do it. You may notice in row 5 now we have 8 digits filled out. So the only thing missing is a 3. So you can solve that for a 3. Awesome. And then the only thing missing here in the block is a 1. So you can solve that for a 1. And then with these 2 ones and this one, you can solve this cell for a 1. Really close to solving the purple cells now. And so let's just continue on and keep this momentum going. Okay, what you can see now is with this column, you have just a 6 and 7 remaining because of the 6 right here. This has to be your 7, so we solve the second purple cell for a 7, which means that's a 6. That's going to be your 7. That's going to be your 9. Nice. And that 9 means this is a 5, and that's going to be your 6. All right. And with this 5, you can solve this for a 3. With that 1, here's your 1, and here is your 5. Nice. Disambiguate the 3, 5 right there. Looking good. And so now we have just the 3 cells remaining. And so you have a 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you need a 3, 4, and a 9. Got the 3 and the 4 right there, and the 4 repeated. You can solve all 3. That has to be your 4. That's got to be your 9. And this is going to be your 3. In the corner, bum, bum, bum. So in the purple cells, you have a 7, 9, 2, and a 3 that you're going to carry over to the 5th and last puzzle of the Sudoku pillar. It'll be out next week. In the meantime, see if you can spot the W wing in this next video. Thank you so much for watching.